Like technical issues once again. Welcome to episode 2 of the Finders Flippers Resell podcast.
Johnny, are you okay? Do you need some help? Give us a sign.
It's like Johnny's never done this before. Not like he does 2 different podcasts.
I can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
There you go. We hear you now.
Oh, okay. I forgot that I unplugged the microphone to plug in the thermal printer. I'm running out of USB jacks.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Finders Flippers Resell podcast, episode number 76. Gentlemen, how are we this evening?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Going great.
Episode 76. Do we start to count down 100, or are we too far away still? Do we got to be a little closer?
I say we count. Let's do it.
I mean, I guess 24 episodes is like 6 months, barring any West setbacks. Could be a year and a half.
Hey, now wait a minute. I take umbrage to that. I've done very well since we rebooted.
You have done very well, which means you're due for a crash.
I think I had to crash last December when I messed up my meniscus. So. But even through that, I played through the pain, Johnny. And
you did, man. You were a trooper, no doubt about it.
And that was the one that Stewart came to, that game. So,
But I missed your injury. I left before it happened.
He didn't want to. He couldn't see it. He couldn't bear it.
Yeah, I would have had to have turned away.
Well, nobody knew it happened though. I just kept going like nothing was wrong. And then in the fourth quarter, I pulled my hamstring. So, boy, I was in a whole world of hurt. Anyway, but yeah,
you've just come from physical therapy before this show, right?
I have. Boy, it was a rough one too. Number 8 was not good. Virginia is being very unkind to me over at KOC. And again, you're right. She does not care one bit, and she told me that again tonight. Don't care. Get to it. So she's increasing all the bike rides and the toe lifts and just all this stuff that I have to do. It's very hurtful. But
yeah, those physical therapists, they're a sadistic lot, aren't they?
She did use this. She said, it's all about getting you back on the court like you want. You know, we're trying to get you there, which is a true statement. But boy, it's rough. It is rough riding. But let's talk about some better riding. Tonight, guys, want to jump into not 1, but 2, but 3, all 3 of our different things we do on YouTube. Johnny, I want to start with you, my friend. Last night, you had a live on Frizzy'S.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like I don't know if you call it a glow up, but I mean, you're over 10,000 subscribers now. Tell us a little bit more if people missed it last night.
Yeah, so if you guys missed it over on our Frizzy'S Finds channel, we had our 10,000th live, 10,000 subscriber live. And it went pretty well. We had some giveaways and had a good time. And you guys were in there. So we appreciate that.
We were till I started getting real sleepy.
Yeah.
I hung for a while and I was like, wait a minute.
It had to be like 8:15. And I was like, oh, boy. And then I was like, Lizzy, did we used to do our Whatnot shows at 9 o'clock? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh.
What were we thinking?
Well, you finish like dinner's over. And then like you've kind of relaxed from dinner and, maybe you watched a little TV and then you're like, another hour and a half. Huh. I'm not normally trying to like kill time at this point. So yeah, it was like 8:15 and I was like, man. But we wanted to make sure that the West Coast had it. And unfortunately, it's like Monday Night Football. The East Coast, we have to wait. And, the West Coast gets it nicely packaged right after dinner.
Well, some of them might, but they have, like you look at the West Coast, Monday Night Football kicks off at what? 5:30, 6 o'clock their time?
Yeah.
I mean, they may just be getting off work too.
Yeah. I did always wonder, like, what the perfect time zone is for football.
Just from a TV standpoint, I will say, I mean, I love Eastern time because in the summer it stays, or especially where we are in Knoxville, so close to the timeline. I like the getting dark real late. But I will say for TV, I think Central's the perfect time zone. You got your Tonight Show at 10:30 instead of 11:30. And because I think once you get out to the West Coast, don't they just adjust the time? I mean, they still like come on at 11:30, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. When I used to travel, you'd go out to California and you'd land and you're like, why is football on? I mean, it's, it's dinner time.
I would be very confused. Like if you watch like Sunday Night Football or you watch Monday Night Football and it's a game you actually watch, like when it's over, you're like, crap, I got to get to bed. Like, what do you do when it's like 8:00?
You decide to have a whatnot show or something.
Yeah, you like, because like I remember being like in my 20s, and you stay up till like 1, 2 in the morning, and I would watch like West Coast games. Like if it was hockey or baseball, I would just throw on a West Coast game, and that's what I'd fall asleep to. Like, what do people on the West Coast just put on and fall asleep to?
Huh. I haven't really thought about that. That's a true statement.
So anybody in the West Coast watching this, what do you do when the sports are over? You just go to bed?
You watch Frizzy'S Finds on their...
there you go. Yeah. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe.
You can get an early start on the stock market out west. What is it, open at like 9 a.m. Eastern? So you're like 6 a.m. you can start trading.
But I guess like if you live on the West Coast, like when you wake up, you got to get right to life because like life is already happening elsewhere. Where we can kind of ease into our day, and then I don't know.
How many times did you fall asleep and you didn't know what the score was of the Monday Night Football game? Later that next morning, I think it was one night. Dallas was playing in Minnesota, and Tony Dorsett, he took one like 99 yards. I had just fallen asleep and went to bed. Missed the whole thing. It's not like nowadays you can have instant. You had to wait the whole next day before you get even a shot at looking at it.
Wes fell asleep and Warren Moon was back to pass, and then he woke up and there was a football team in Tennessee. It just all happened so fast.
There were these times that they speak of. Oh, man.
Going back to your your live last night, Johnny, I really enjoyed it. And you and Frizzy or Lizzy have great chemistry. I mean, y'all play off each other very, very well.
Yeah, and I think that was part of the thought of like just throwing a pod on there. And I definitely didn't mean it as disrespect to this. This is I prefer this. I like my guide time. But we were just like, every time we're in the car and we're driving to the post office or something, we're just like, it's not even bickering, but it's just like discussing business, and we're just totally different people. And we were like, I should do something with this.
Well, what's interesting is for me, when I interviewed you on my Slim Flippers channel, seeing how Lizzy's she's coming to her own. Because if you remember on that podcast, you did most of the speaking. She was just sitting there like, and I was watching her last night. And I said, "Look at her. She's getting into it."
Yeah, it's funny. Like getting into YouTube in the first place was her thing, right? She was. We had discussed it, but I was like, no, like I don't want to do it until like it's all refined. Because how do you compete with Harry Tornado when you don't know what the heck you're doing? And she was like, nope, just start filming. And so we just started filming, and she edited the first couple of videos, and she was like, okay, I'm done. And I'm like, huh? She's like, we did it. We're good. And I was like, oh, no, you're in this now, chick. And we had just a little bit of luck, and she was like, oh, we're doing kind of good, aren't we? And I was like, yeah, can't complain. And she's like, okay, I'm back. Thanks.
I just remember, though, talking to you all that first time, and I couldn't hardly get her to speak. I mean, I was trying, and she just kind of sat there, but you turn and look at her, and you try to see if she was going to say something, and then you interject. But
Yeah,
wow.
and then like you guys couldn't see it, on your end, but like by the end, she's clicking and doing stuff, and I'm like, whoa, easy, calm down, girl.
Calm down. We're gonna have you on different networks now. Talking.
Yeah.
What do we do? But
it's cool just because it's I don't know if there's like a lot of husband and wife kind of duos out there like that. So
well, I'm slowly trying to get Mel, my wife, to come along with me. She's I think it's where Lizzy used to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She doesn't like being on. She don't like the sound of her voice. And so I've started using some YouTube shorts when she's packaging some of our stuff.
I saw the one. She did it.
Yeah. She did it on her own. I said, that's perfect. Yeah. I mean, love it. And I've got another one I'm getting ready to put out tomorrow. It's about 2.5 minutes long. I said, those are perfect. She's talking about the shirt she's wearing. She's got a Dolly shirt coming on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think once you can put your toe in the water and just kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful I can have her come on along just like Lizzy has. Because I was impressed with Lizzy last night. That was really good.
Well, I think the best advice we ever got was we were at FlipCon and they had some breakout sessions. And we went to the social media one just because the other one was like taxes. And we were like, nah, that's not important. Social media is important. And American Arbitrage was there. And he was like, putting out, like, even if you think it's crappy, put it out. Because that's better than not doing it, trying to perfect it and figure it out without doing it. And that's really just the truth of it.
Right. Well, I'm hoping Mel though will, she's willing to film herself every Monday now for 2 or 3 minutes packaging some of our stuff. And I said, just do it. And if I can get people on my slim flippers to start seeing her shorts, and then maybe I can turn it into a bigger part of what I'm trying to do on that channel. Now, in contrast, your channel is over 10,000. Mm-hmm. My Slim Flippers channel is at 190.
We were there, though, Huh? But we were there, right? I mean, so
right. But and to be fair, though, I haven't really done a whole lot with that channel up until about a month ago. And this month, I've got 24 new subscribers. So it's sat there for like 160 for a long time.
But when we really, we set up the channel in the first place and then very half-heartedly just threw stuff out whenever we got around to it. And it did what it did, right? And then we started committing to one a week, right? We're like, okay, we're doing one a week. And we started to see growth, but it was never like it would take forever to get anywhere. And then this year, 2025, we were like 2 a week. Got to do it. Got to figure out. And that's, if it's what solds or, whatever the heck we got to do, 2 a week. And we've gone from 4,000 at the beginning of the year to 10 and, in 8 months. So that's awesome. If you put into it,
Yeah. That's great. Now, you had mentioned last night your new podcast, and you mentioned it here just a second ago. Kind of tell everybody the name of it and what you're hoping to do with that.
Yeah, so it's the Packin' Orders podcast. We're just going to call it POP. And, our goal is just, like I said before, the conversations that we have behind the scenes about what we want to do for our business. Like our first episode was about shipping, like, ooh, captivating, real captivating, exciting shipping. But us going to free shipping, spoiler alert, we went to free shipping. Stewart, I know you've been doing it for ages. And it was something that we were just not comfortable with, but this summer slowdown was worse than it's been in past years, at least for us. And, we were looking at shipping rates of like, oh, okay, here's like this 1 pound sweater that's going to cost $12. Like no one's going to spend $20 and then, $12, $15 to ship something. And so we were just going back and forth. And Lizzy was like, what if we set up a flat rate for each, like 4 ounces, 8 ounces, 12 ounces, 1 pound, 2? I go, I'm not doing all that. But like we were having this conversation back and forth and just thought like, why not bring that to people to see? Because, you know, reselling is always, you know, we always say reselling is a very lonely thing, right? You're kind of by yourself doing it. Hence why we have this podcast and, you know, we make our videos and stuff like we do, is to try to talk to somebody else about it. But we're kind of fortunate enough to have each other to ping back and forth constantly. So we just thought it'd be interesting for people to kind of see two heads, you know, because her and I are very, very different. Right. In just the way we think about things, but the end goal is the same, right? We want to grow and do better. And then we were like, well, we don't want to put it on, you know, we don't want it to be another night video competing with anything else. So we were just like, drop it Monday morning. And if people are packing their orders, they can just throw it on in the background and it's nothing you have to watch. Right. You can just listen.
Well, I love
and that's like the thing, you know, about this podcast that's great is we're all totally different, right? Like you have Stewart, who's full-time, I'm part-time, Wes, you're part-time. Stewart has booths. Wes, like we don't know anything about booths other than what we've learned from Stewart. So like we have such a mix here where we felt like doing it between her and I, it was just what we did. And we also felt like there wasn't necessarily another podcast that had people that sold clothes. Right. And so we can talk a little bit more about clothes than, you know, everything's like sports cards now. Or, you know, like that's the new thing is all sports cards. I don't know, you know, after 89 Dunross, I kind of, you know, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Like after 89 Dunross, I was out.
That's funny. And Stewart, your channel, you don't have a dedicated YouTube channel, do you?
Well, yeah, I do. Let me see how many. And occasionally I'll do shorts on there, but I do live. Like I stream all my Whatnot shows over there. Like the one I streamed today. Let me go to my channel here.
I guess I couldn't disseminate between if it was YouTube or Whatnot because you do so much on Whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I mainly have just been doing, like, I haven't done a full video since 11 months ago, but for a while there, I was trying to do at least one short every day. I've since not been doing that, but I do stream like my Whatnot show today. I streamed it over there, and and I do some shorts or reels on TikTok and Instagram, but nothing real consistent. I don't know. Just when it comes down to it, I tend to try to spend my time more on the listing side. I mean, realistically, I'm never going to make a lot of money from social media. So it's, other than the fact I enjoy putting stuff out there occasionally, I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing it. So, you know, and I, like when I went to I've got footage from the 127 that I need to take the time now to go and edit. I did 2 shorts off of it. But once again, I mean, when you start sitting down to do that, I mean, I'm probably looking at several hours to get something put together. And I really want to take the time to do that.
Well, the editing time, I mean, you sit there and you try to do the perfect video, and I found out that's not possible.
Yeah.
I on episode 75, I had it actually ready to go probably 12 hours before I put it up and told you all it was ready because I ended up, I lost it. I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, no.
I went through the entire video and lost it. I was like, and that's the first time it's ever happened to me. I was like, where is this video? And I'd spent a couple hours working on it.
Oh.
And I was just like, are you kidding me? And so I had to go back and cut all the way back through it again.
Oh, no.
It was not good. But I had to redo it. So, but I got it done. And Johnny, like we were talking about, I'm committed to what we're doing.
Yes, you are, sir.
Since our rebirth of episode 8.
Episode 8.
Well, and trust me, I'm kicking myself because I think one of y'all mentioned, Johnny, you may have mentioned it on the last one, we would have already been over 100 episodes by now. But
Yeah,
That's
it doesn't matter. I
That's
mean,
all
hey, it's, we're well on our way to 100, and I feel fully confident we're going to make it there. So,
we're going to make it. We're
um,
definitely going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, we're just cruising right along.
now, how often do you put content on your Slim Flippers channel, Wes?
There for the longest time, I wasn't putting anything on it, and I was telling Johnny I had. No, I was telling you. Sorry, I think it was I had like 160. No, I was telling Johnny. I'm sorry. I was telling Johnny I had like 160 subscribers on there forever. Now it's up to 190 in the last month. So, and I'm putting a lot of shorts on there, and I've gone away from doing like the podcast interview type because I moved that over here. That's what we're doing here. So I don't do that over there anymore. So I've been kind of foundering on what I'm wanting to do with it. But Mel, my wife, she's been doing some videos, shorts, showing things that we've sold and we're packaging. Now I'm going to start putting in where you see what sold and what it sold for. And she's very reluctant to want to be on camera. So it's a slow burn on it, but she's really good at it.
I was going to say she's good when I've seen a few of your videos with her.
Her shipping video was good.
So.
Yeah. But
I
like to move
I've thought about doing a what sold, but then once again, I get to packing and I get 3 or 4 in. I go, dang, I should have filmed that. I mean, I just forget. I don't. Right. Same thing when I'm out, like at the 127. I got a lot of footage, but I just I have a hard time multitasking. I guess if I was going to get serious about it, I really need to do a GoPro or something that's just passive, because I can't think to be recording with this and talking to people and looking at stuff, and it's just not how my brain works. So.
Well, and I've been wanting to try to do that at a state sale maybe or something. And I get like you, I feel like I have to really pay attention to what's in front of me instead of worrying about trying to video stuff.
I mean, and I think, most of your people who do yard sale videos do wear a GoPro or some other passive device. I mean, the person who does the best job, in my opinion, of holding a camera and doing everything is Primetime Treasure Hunter. He does not wear a GoPro. He uses his camera for everything, and he somehow, he does everything one-handed, and his videos are really good, and he's just good at being able to do that. But I don't know, I just can't wire my brain to think about what I'm filming. And then what I find is if I start filming and I start looking at stuff, like then I go back and look, and if I was trying to film this, it's on this instead, and so I don't know.
Johnny, do you do that kind of filming? Do you do that when you're sourcing? You do, right?
What we'll typically do is we'll thrift. Like, say we're in a Goodwill and we thrift, and then we find 5 things. We'll literally go to an aisle and just like she'll show what she found and I'll show what I found. But I mean, even at we're at and kind of our YouTube journey, we'll walk out of a store and be like, damn, we forgot to film. Like, it's not the first, right? Because we're going to make way more money reselling than we will from social media. So we're more still just in the mindset of finding things, and when we find things, then we want to go home and get them listed. But we've tried to get better at that. I will wear a GoPro a lot and never use any of the footage because it's just never, it's just not natural. And then I'm not talking during it because I don't want to be like in the store, like nothing. And then
there's a lot of nothings, There's a lot.
And I literally will fill the GoPro. The memory card will say full. I'll look at it and go, I don't want any of this clear, dump. And so I've really stopped, especially in the summer, because like I'm a sweaty guy. And that GoPro, you have this, all of a sudden you got a wet circle on your chest and your back. And you're like, I did all this and I'm not even going to use any of this. Like,
and there's some though. And I think like Stephen Martin, the Bearded Finds, he had like one that's like a magnet.
Yeah. See, it depends how your shirt is, right? So if you have a tight shirt on, it'll stay. But if it's kind of like a loose fitting t-shirt, the weight will pull it down.
Right.
So then all of a sudden you're stretching out all your shirts and
Yeah.
good in theory.
Well, and that's kind of like, Amy got me those Ray-Ban glasses that have the camera built in. And the problem with those is, just the point of view, your head moves so much. I guess when you're wearing on your chest, it's not quite as bad, but like on your head, you're constantly looking around and the video is just like, it's hard to watch. And I guess, especially if you have a hat on, it catches the bottom of the brim I use those Ray-Bans every day to listen to music when I'm walking, but I haven't used them a lot for the filming part of anything. I'd be curious for anybody watching who does film videos. How do y'all film? Do you use your cell phone? Do you use a GoPro, some other method? Just drop that in the comments and let us know. I'm always curious how other people do it. So,
right. I would like to make it very passive, I guess, but automatic. I guess automatically passive. That you just boom, you turn it on. You don't think about the entire thing like you're doing, but where you can get a good shot of what you're filming. Because, like you said, Johnny, you may be too close. You may be, and those GoPros, it's kind of hard to tell. I guess.
And then like Johnny said, you're editing. If you're just running your GoPro the whole time, you're having to look through all your footage, I guess, to pull out what's good. Where if you're doing it with the phone, you're pretty much only filming, I guess, smaller clips that are easier to look through. But I don't really do either one consistently.
Do people use those gimbals?
We have one, and I bought one that has like the face recognition, so you can actually have it like turn with you, and it's sitting in a corner with dust. It just some of that stuff's just not practical, and to like walk into like a Goodwill with like, you're like, I don't know. We try to be kind of discreet,
Right. That's always been my problem. I always feel like people are watching me. Like, what are you doing, filming? I don't know.
I was going to say that too, but it's interesting. Like when you watch people who film a lot, like Commonwealth Picker, for example, and he does all his conversations in his videos with people. I'm sure they realize that they're being filmed, but it's like, how do they act natural too? It seems like, when you're being filmed, you act different. So I don't know. It's,
I do wonder though, what kind of problems he's ever come into. Cause not everybody wants you to film them.
Oh, I know.
How does he handle that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't guess it seems like I've heard a conversation on this. I don't think you have to get people's permission to,
not they're in public.
Yeah, in public you don't have to. Yeah.
So if you're on their property though, and filming them, there's no problem with you putting them in your YouTube video. I don't guess is that considered public property?
I don't know what the definition of in public is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
Anyway, like Wes, I'm always a little self-conscious, like when I'm filming, and I know you shouldn't be because everybody and their brother does it now, especially like on the 127 yard sale. Every other person there's got a camera. But in fact, I did have one guy because I had magnets on the side of my car. I had my Franklin Hill Venture magnets, and I pulled up to one, just a yard sale type thing. He goes, "What's your thing on your car saying?" I said, "Well, it's my website. I do reselling." He goes, "Oh, do you have one of those YouTube channels?" I said, "Yeah, I have a podcast I do with two other guys." And he said, "Well, I had one guy come through here earlier. I think it was like the Bearded Thrifter or somebody like that." He said, he was telling me all about his show he does too. So, speaking of the 127, and I know Johnny's going to feel left out because it seems like I always find stuff for Wes, but never for Johnny. But I think it's just because there's not as much Bill stuff out there. But check this out, Wes.
Oh my word! Oh my word!
Oh, spoiled!
Oh my word!
Spoiled!
Turn it around, Stewart. It's backwards to us. Turn it around.
Oh, and it's from 1979, I think.
No, it's the sixth time.
Hey, what?
See, it says sixth time. The last one they won was Super Bowl 43. So that's been what, 7?
Never mind. Yeah, it's like each of the Super Bowls has the like the trademarks. It says trademark 1979 NFL.
Look at that,
But-
Johnny. Each of the Super Bowl wins. See that?
Oh, no, it's beautiful.
But hey, Johnny, just so you don't feel completely left out, I did get you this bowling patch.
Oh, hey, all right.
Hey.
I am a member of the 600 Club,
Okay.
so I appreciate that.
So yes,
Sure, you are the man, my friend. That is awesome. I will hang that out there in my flagpole.
That's going right above
we'll
his
have to
bed.
we'll have to get together again, and
That's awesome.
one day I'm going to find something that's Buffalo Bills. There were those pennants that I found, but the guy wanted an arm and a leg for them.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
there's
How
a
much
lot.
did he want for those?
I can't remember now, but it was like he wouldn't sell just one. He wanted to sell them all together, and it was,
I'm sure you can find a lot of AFC champions Buffalo Bills wear.
4 straight, baby. 4 straight. I actually have a Bills flag that has the 4 Super Bowls in the corners, but that's all right.
When's the last time they did win the AFC? Was it 94? Is that right?
93.
93. Okay.
2025.
Do you feel like there was any Super Bowl they should have won?
The first one.
The first one. Is that the
That
one
was
they were playing the Giants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they would have won the first one, I think they would have won the last one. They were up at halftime in the last one. And then they just totally ran out of gas.
I was going to say, then the bottom fell out of that.
Well, Scott Norwood on the shank, is that what it was?
Yeah. Why are we? I don't understand what we're doing here.
We're just reminiscing, talking about your bills.
We're in the future, baby. I did see this meme today, and it listed all 32 teams, and it said best case scenario, worst case scenario, and all of them were listed as 17-0, and worst case scenario was 0-17. And then for the Steelers, it said best case scenario 9-8, worst case scenario 9-8.
Yeah. Hey, we're a 500 team every year. Mike Tomlin, Mr. Average, I guess. He's never had a losing season in 17 years.
Yeah, I mean, God bless him.
So, but let's get up a little higher this year, though. We need to get to the AFC Championship game, dust the Bills.
You don't even have a quarterback. Who's your quarterback?
Mr. Hall of Famer.
Bless.
It's a big old carousel over there, my friend.
Yeah. Bless your heart.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you need to tank one year and get that high draft pick, but y'all are just right in that middle.
We're just average. I mean, mediocrity. Mired in mediocrity. Kind of like our podcast here. We were mired in mediocrity for a while.
But look what we did. We rose above the mediocrity finally.
We are rising above, yeah.
What were we, the best mediocre podcast out there?
Sir, let's go back to your 127 real quick. What was your best find that you had?
Well, just on pure dollars, what it's probably going to end up being is it was a set of Wedgwood china, 8 place settings plus all the serving pieces, and I got it all for $40, and I'll probably end up somewhere between $400 and $600 with once all said and done on that. I asked the good lady there. They had an RV. They had, I guess, there for the week, and it's like, how much you want in your Wedgwood china over here? She goes, I don't know. Make me an offer. I don't want to take it home. I said, well, how about $40? She goes, well, I was hoping to get 50. I said, if I don't buy it at 40, I said, I guarantee you that's going back home with you. And she goes, you can have it for 40. So
just go ahead and park it right back in the RV.
I mean, and a lot of it was still in the original Wedgwood like cellophane packaging too. So
See, I'm
never been
stunned, though,
used.
Stewart. I thought you would have come out with $31.
Yeah, I should have offered it 31, I guess. But
every place you go now, you need to film yourself saying, I got $31 on me.
I mean, and then like my favorite things, I mean, that's kind of, I guess it's money wise, it's cool, but a lot of people wouldn't think a set of china is very exciting. I got a really cool brass elephant that's probably, I mean, it's like
Oh, wow.
this tall. I mean, I think I paid 10 for it, and it'll probably easily be like 75 in my booth if I were to guess. I mean, I hadn't even started processing that stuff in. I've had so many estates and other things come in. I'm just having a hard time. I finally got through the stuff. A lady in my neighborhood had posted something on her Facebook group about come get everything. It's free. So I got over there first and said, I think I talked about this on an earlier podcast. I felt bad just taking everything. So, and not leaving anything for anybody else. So I was like, hey, if I take everything, or if I can sign this for you, are you okay if I just take everything? And she said, yeah, that'd be great. So I just got through the last of that stuff, and I think I'm going to do 127 next. So.
Now, we had talked earlier, I think it was before we started video, and you're going to an estate sale tomorrow, and that's by appointment. Kind of talk about why they're doing it that way.
Well, really, this estate sale company does almost all their tag sale parts by appointment. They started doing it during COVID, just because, that way they could manage the people showing up rather than like going and getting a number or something and standing in line. It just helps them manage traffic. And especially this one's in Sequoia Hills, which is the old money neighborhood of Knoxville. And it's on one of the main streets, and there's no parking on the streets. So that allows them to kind of control when people show up, and instead of having everybody show up 30 minutes before and try to line up. Because that's what most estate sales, and I'm sure everybody's experienced this, you show up 3 hours before to try to get a number, and then, you get a number and you can leave, and then you have to come back and start lining up. Or if they don't give out numbers, you just show up and get in line and sit there for 2 hours. So I like the fact that you go online and get an appointment time. It just stinks. Like I'll forget that they're opening the appointment, so I don't get, like the earliest one. But I've found with the kind of stuff I look for, like books and stuff, there's not a ton of other people looking for those. So I can go later in the day, and I always find a ton of stuff. So
I would think both the things you all source, there's not a lot of people kind of trending that way. Like Stewart, your ephemera, but Johnny, your clothing. I would think there's a lot for you all to sort through.
I mean, there's usually, I know with the estate sales I go to, there's usually quite a few people in the closets looking at clothes. Now, I don't know if they're looking at the same kind of stuff that Johnny and Lizzy look at. Now, to be honest, most of the stuff at these estate sales, it's older people clothes. There's not a lot of, sometimes you'll find some like t-shirts and stuff, but usually it's a bunch of, dresses from, Kohl's or something. So
so that keeps you away from that kind of stuff, Johnny. Going to
we do very little estate sales because it's tricky. Like anything that is going to excite me about an estate sale is going to excite a lot of other people. Like if there's a bunch of old like vintage sports stuff, like, oh yeah, I'd love to go see that. So would 12 other guys. But sometimes, like, we went to an estate sale last weekend for the first time this year, and we walked in and walked out and was like, this is why. But this is also why we don't do a lot of garage sales. We don't do much with hard goods. And our garage sales are a lot of kids' clothes, and I don't.
Yeah. It's kind of fun, though, to go to either a garage sale or estate sale, and you see something that you're close to, but you can't blow through people to grab it. And you're just nonchalant, like, it's not a big deal, And then your heart's racing because you're wanting to get to it.
Yeah, I think the tricky part with like an estate sale is kind of like a commitment, right? Like Stewart said, like you go and you get a number. Like even when we went last weekend, like we got a number. We went and got breakfast. We came back. We went in. Like all of a sudden, this is like a 3-hour thing, and we were only in the house for 20 minutes.
Right.
But like with garage sales, you're I don't know how your guys are, but even a community sale is not a community sale. There's a house, maybe there's 2 houses, and it's so much in and out and in and out and in and out. And when you're looking for clothes, it's just like you
What
get
about
burnt
church
out pretty
sales,
quickly.
Johnny? What about
Oh
church?
man, we don't have any.
Really?
I would say church rummage sales are my most favorite thing to source from.
Yeah.
And we get 2 good ones a year, and they're both in the fall.
Yeah, we've got some decent ones over here in Maryville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are really fun, and they do a really good job putting those together. It's a lot of hard work. They use like their family life centers and things, and different classrooms in the church. But I like doing those as well. That's probably one of my favorite things to do.
And my experience with church sales has been a lot of times they're pretty good because I guess people bringing stuff feel like, well, it's for the church. So I'm going to bring, my firstborn, the first pick of the crops or whatever, it's not my crop. So,
I think people tend to reach deeper when they know it's for the church and what they're trying to do.
Now some of those church yard sales, especially the ones that do it every year that are really organized. And I mean, it's kind of like an estate sale. People get there 2 hours before the doors open and, you'll be lined up. So, I'm going to another estate sale tomorrow that's over off, I guess, around Central Avenue. And this one picture here intrigued me. Speaking of clothes, and there's some hats in the top of the closet. I don't know if they're any good, but then what really intrigued me is all these stacked up magazines. I don't know if they're going to end up, I can't tell if it's magazines or comic books or, I mean, there's definitely magazines there, but then over here, I'm not sure. It's like thinner things. So, but they don't have any pictures where you can see what they are. Any of those clothes interest you, Johnny? Anything you want me to pick out while I'm there?
I mean, are there some flannels in there? Fall's coming.
You're ready to start changing that oil, aren't you, Johnny?
That's right. Stewart, how do you decide, like, if you're looking at estate sales, like, do you look at estate sales and you're like, oh, that's going to be crazy busy, I'm not going to that one? Like, or are you like, no, I need to fight everyone for that one? Or how do you decide?
I mean, to be honest, usually I decide on what estate sales I go to just based on the company that's running it. So like the one I'm going to tomorrow, I always go to their estate sales. I mean, I think they always have an online auction part and a tag sale part. And I think they do very fair pricing on their tag sale, knowing that their auction is going to be where they make like the majority of the money for their client. I mean, they don't give the stuff away, but so many estate sales that don't have an online auction component, they put so much on it that even on half price day, I don't know who buys it. Right. And I always wonder like what they do with all that stuff that doesn't sell, because you got to balance. I get you can't just give your client stuff away, but if you don't sell anything because it's too expensive, then they'd have no money and they're stuck with a bunch of stuff. So I don't know. There's a balancing act there for sure. But like I said, most of the estate sales I go to, it's very rare that I go like wait in line for one, just because I know the books are going to be there. That kind of thing. Now, if they have vinyl records and it looks like good ones, I have gone and like tried to get there early before, because those will get snatched up. I mean, there's so many people around here who go look specifically for vinyl records. Now, one good thing with that is a lot of the guys buying them around here are like big time, they're collectors. They're not reselling them. So they want ones that are like pristine, no scratches. I don't care. I mean, I'm going to put them in my booth at $8 and they'll sell if they have a scratch on it. So.
Did you ever get that that other booth you were waiting to hear back on?
No, I haven't heard anything back. I haven't decided if I'm going to follow up on it. I mean, I figure if they don't call me, it wasn't meant to be. I'm not like just itching to get one, but so no problem. Sure. I mean, if they have one open, maybe I'm on the list. It was a big day for Wes, though, Johnny, that he said that the physical therapy people told him that he could probably start walking with a cane. Said you could wear a monocle and a top hat too. So.
Right. Yeah. Hello, gentlemen. So this
are you gonna go like what was his name? What was the Monopoly guy's name?
Milburn Pennybags.
Uncle Pennybags. Mm-hmm. Wes, are you going for more of like a Milburn penny bags, like a Monopoly guy style, or maybe like a 1970s like kind of pimp Foxy Brown style with your
I'm
cane?
feeling like a Planters Peanuts kind of guy. What do you think?
Very age appropriate.
Yeah. Well, truth be told, though, I've gotten used to the crutch, and she let me use the walking stick, the cane, a little bit tonight. I'm a little bit uneasy on it, actually. Just unsure, but it just feels different. And once I get, I'm gonna try it out in little increments. She said we're gonna move it in slowly, but that means the crutch will be going out. So, looking forward to it. Anyway,
Should be getting close to time for another episode of our reselling alter egos too, shouldn't
yeah.
You can't wait, huh? You're too excited.
Oh, please,
Well,
Johnny. Please.
The cane and the monocle and the top hat got me thinking about it. It sounds like something the raccoon would wear.
There you go, Johnny. Hey, you need to put whichever one I am. I didn't know which one I was
Yeah.
now. Put me in
An
a crutch.
owl? You're now a broken owl. I love that Stewart was like, oh, we could do that once every couple months. 2 weeks later, it's time for another one.
Yeah, let's do another podcast. Before long, he's going to have his own podcast book. But yeah, I agree with you, Stewart. It was quite entertaining, and it was short and sweet. It was like you said, it got straight to the point.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if y'all realize this, but that video has been doing quite well. Yeah, I think it's the leading one now, isn't it?
Actually, episode 73 is our most watched, and then episode 71 is our second most watched. We have 2 that passed up Popeye now.
Yeah. So, moving on down the road. So, Stewart, we got to get Johnny to start putting another one together.
All right, I'll work on it. I mean, if you guys want it for episode 77, I will bring back Stewart the raccoon and his cast of characters.
I mean, it's a very short story, so it only takes a couple minutes to read it. So
yeah. But again, let's talk numbers real quick. Again, Johnny, congratulations to you and Lizzy.
Thank you, sir.
10,000 over on the Frizzy'S finds. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, got your new little podcast on the way. My Slim Flippers is up to 190, not 190. Right. Just up to 100.
Are you going live at 200?
I may have you all come join me over there. Y'all be willing to come on the Slim Flippers where it all started again? But yeah, we're starting to move the needle on the Slim Flippers. We're trying to get Mel more involved on some things we're doing. Stewart, how many do you have on yours?
I have 447 subscribers.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely in third.
And speaking of subscribers, we're 10 away from our next live now. 10 away from 400 on the Founders Flippers.
Do it, Johnny. Do your hand like you. Johnny likes to rub his hand. Yeah, we only need 10 more guys, and we're going live again, and 110 more. And Johnny, you come across the mountain. We're going to actually get our bowling on. So.
As long as the Department of Transportation allows it. I feel like something's always blocked or some roads collapsed.
Oh, wait. This has been close. Johnny's not going.
This has been the wettest summer I think I remember in my entire life.
100%. I don't ever remember my grass being this green in August. Ever. Mm-hmm. I mean,
my whole backyard is all wooded, and I'll just sit outside, and you'll just randomly hear a tree fall just because the ground's so soft that like any tree with a lean, it's coming down.
It's going.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and this is, I guess I picked a bad summer to have knee surgery. My son, he was mowing, and he got sunburned. He got sun poisoning.
Ooh.
And so our yard sit for about 3 weeks and didn't touch it. And with all the rain we had, my neighbor, I guess he got tired of looking at my yard across the street. I'm laying there on the couch with an ice bag on my knee, and I hear the mower going by my house. I look at Tyler. I said, "Well, it's not you or me. Who's mowing our yard?"
A little passive aggressive move there.
Yeah.
Wes, I knew you're hurt, so I wanted to come help you out. But no, my neighbor Landon, he's a blessing. He's helped us out with a lot. So shout out Landon for picking me up in a time of need. I definitely owe him. And he's a great electrician, by the way. He's helped me troubleshoot a lot of things here at the house.
Send him over. I want to put a split in my garage. So if he wants to come and do that, that'd be swell.
He would be your man for sure. 100%.
Stewart, do you have any kind of temp control? Like, do you have a split in there or anything?
What are you talking about?
In your garage.
Oh no, we don't.
Air.
But it stay. We're a basement rancher, so the garage stays really comfortable year round.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's a lot of duct work that runs through the garage, and I guess enough, cool in the summer and heat in the winter kind of dissipates out that it's definitely, I never get hot. The only time I ever get hot is if I have to have the garage doors open for an extended period of time. But
sir, you've got a lot of shade around your house too. This is very helpful.
Yeah, the house stays in shade, and especially the driveway where the garage would be. But the garage is basically underground, so one side's walkout, but then the back side, is below grade.
Gotcha.
It's like subterranean. It's like a cave down there. 59 degrees year round.
Move over, San Diego. We're moving to Stewart's garage.
Stewart's cave dwelling.
Oh, by the way, let me give my weekly Depop update real quick.
Uh-oh.
I've had 0 sales, so I've sent out. I'm getting more action. I get pop-ups all the time. Now, so-and-so liked your item. Do you want to send them an offer? So send them an offer, but
I told you to pick one item and lower it extremely just to sell.
I know, but
Stewart, I'm about to report your page and just get it shut down again, just so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it.
Just so you don't have to worry.
Johnny's got the dials on Depop. Oh, you want me to shut you down? Not a problem. You want me to bring you back? Not a problem.
On the flip side, the Whatnot Marketplace is still doing well, so that's
good. So, do you? Let's ask this question, even though we know the answer. But do you have to be a live seller to put things on Whatnot? Like
no
static sell? No,
you can. In fact, I don't even think you have to be approved to list in the marketplace. But although that's a moot point now, I think everybody's automatically approved to live sell. There's no vetting process anymore. But no, yeah, you can list stuff in the marketplace, and it probably helps if you live sell too, because when I say sell stuff in the marketplace, it's a combination of true marketplace sales and then future shows that are scheduled, because I just load the Buy It Now up with tons of stuff, like almost everything that's in my store. And the reason I do that is because then people can take advantage of the shipping caps that I have in the show, even though the show's not live yet. Or if they buy it out of the marketplace and they buy 3 things, it's not they may pay more shipping. So actually, I had a Whatnot show today and did very well. It was just a last minute pop-up decision that I did. I bought a bunch of ephemera yesterday. Wasn't truly sight unseen, but I didn't really look in the boxes. I just went to the guy's house and he said, this box is this much, this box is this much. And I was like, will you take this much? And he said, sure. So I really didn't even dig through them. So it's the first time I was seeing a lot of this stuff today, and there was a lot of really cool stuff in there. So,
well, on Mel's video that I'm going to be posting, I actually sold a magazine called The Delineator. Have you ever heard of that, Stewart? And it was from 1930. And she holds it up. You can see it. So if you take a look at it, but I want to climb the Whatnot Mountain. I want to get over my little 3-minute show that I did and then shut it down because I got frustrated. I've got to go back and do a redo on that. I'm pretty good at redos. Starting a YouTube channel and pulling back. But yeah, I'm going to I'm going to climb that mountain again, but I feel like I'm a little bit better prepared now. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. Maybe in the fall here, a little bit later. But yeah, it's amazing when you get injured. Other things you can concentrate on. Because I haven't ref since March, so I've had a lot of time to think. You know.
Well, good luck with that, buddy.
Thanks.
Do you have enough? What would you sell? Do you have enough of something?
I have enough of this and that. That's the thing. I'm trying to figure out what to sell because Stewart does really good with records and he does really good with ephemera. And it's really trying to find out what's.
Well, I think it's hard to have like a hodgepodge, though, right? I mean, Stewart.
Yeah, I don't want to do a hodgepodge.
Yeah,
I have no interest in doing that.
And to be honest, I mean, yes, I have had shows where I've done well with records, and I've had shows where I've done well with ephemera. But in my opinion, the current climate of whatnot, you've got to really be able to bring some special stuff to have a great show. I mean, it's like today, you know, people like the unboxings, you know, the unknown. So I had a pretty good crowd in there, and it just so happened there was some really good stuff in there. And a lot of it was local, like Tennessee and Knoxville stuff. And there were like 4 or 5 Tennesseans in the show. So that was helping drive the bids up some. But it's just like the records. We got lucky. I mean, this is all because of my brother. We got lucky and he found all those 80s albums. Right. I don't even think having like classic rock, there's just so much of that out there and whatnot. Because the few 70s like Led Zeppelin and things like that we had didn't do near as well as the, 80s Animotion and obscure stuff like that. So, because I mean, the last ephemera show I'd done before this one, well, I did a special event last Sunday and I did okay in that one, but the ephemera show before that, it was a complete dud. I mean, I did like $50 and just, shut it down. And I had good stuff, but it's the same stuff that everybody else has over and over and over again. And kind of like Johnny used to talk about with hats. I mean, when I first started on whatnot, billheads, postcards, all that stuff, there weren't that many people doing it. You had all this new audience who had never bought that stuff. Now it's like everybody's bought this stuff for 3 or 4 years. And so you've got to really be able to bring something special to have a good show in the ephemera category. Right. So,
yeah. But Johnny, your I guess your absence away from whatnot, it's really what gave me pause. I just had trepidation about trying it, I guess, because of you.
Well, I just, like Stewart said, I mean, a lot of it just depends on what you have to and who you can get in the show. I just, the good old days, right? You had no competition and then competition moved in and all of a sudden the competition went from people with used hats like we had to somebody who found a supplier, whether they were real or fake. We got really frustrated. One of the other hat sellers that we kind of would like check with each other to see what time they were having shows because we never wanted to like go when they were going. They started all of a sudden, they had all these brand new hats and we were like, man, how did they do that? Like, how do you get a Mitchell and Ness supplier where they're coming in? And they had a Bills hat and I ordered it and it came in and I go, this is China. This is like Alibaba or whatever that GTH Gate or whatever it's called. And so I went and started searching like new era Mitchell and Ness hat. And I was like, there it is. That's what they're ordering. And once it got like that, we just kind of weren't used hats weren't going to compete with new ones. And we definitely didn't want to compete with, because we started looking like, well, maybe we should order China hats. And we're like, no, that's not the way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the frustration of a lot of people in a lot of categories on whatnot. There's so many of these resellers, from China or getting products from Alibaba and passing it off as, legit stuff and whatnot's not really doing anything. They may shut them down, but then they just pop up with a new account. It's like whack-a-mole. And, it's just once whatnot quit vetting new sellers, because I'm sure you went through the same thing I did. I mean, it was not easy at the time. I think when I was getting approved, it was right when Dom, Primetime Treasurer, started his whatnot sellers group. And there were, he was letting anybody in there who wanted to sell and whatnot. And I mean, the number of people like, I've applied and I haven't heard anything back, or I got rejected. And when I applied, I was like really nervous that I was not going to get accepted. And I was, to be honest, surprised that I did. So it used to be really tough. And now I don't even think there's a process. I had to submit a video and they interviewed me, and, it was a big long application. You had to prove you had enough stuff to sell for like some period of time. And, now I think it's like, do you have a pulse? Sure. You can sell and whatnot.
Yeah.
Come on in.
And it's also, I think the hardest part is, even if you have, like for us with clothing, and I think it really depends on, what category you're selling in. It's very hard for us to have an eBay brain and a whatnot brain running simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
So, you sell a sweater for $8 and that's good on whatnot, but you knew if you listed it on eBay, you'd get 60 for it. Yeah, it would take longer, but like, it's just hard to be excited about that 8 when you knew what the potential of it was. And it's two totally different brains. It's two different mindsets. Yeah. And it was very hard for us to turn that off.
Right.
Well, and it was different when you could, when I was first starting, I could get more on eBay, but I could still get a price point on whatnot that I could sell enough volume and quick enough, and I could go buy more stuff and bring it back. But now the price point's so much lower on what you can expect to get that, it's not the amount of work you have to do to get ready. And by the time, fees and all that, you just don't make enough. And so really, I mean, I've kind of decided I'd gone away from whatnot. Then I went back, said, I'm going to try a show every other week and just kind of stick with it. And I did, and I was, doing okay, but still just doing every other week. It's too much work. I think I'm going to just more do shows. If I happen to get like a big bunch of ephemera, like I got this time, that lends itself very well to generating excitement and, generating some good revenue for a show. And then, like when they have the special paper events, I'll continue to participate in those when they ask me to. But I think I'm going to go away from just regular shows. It's just too much work for not enough, juice from the squeeze.
Yeah, and there's a lot of behind the scenes. You're like, oh, you just made X in an hour, and you're like, not exactly. Not exactly. And I know for us, like we did those 9 o'clock hat shows, and they would stop at 10:30, and you're wired because you've just been up in front of the camera, like whatever. And then like you sit down and you're like, I'm not tired. It's 10:30. And like I have to be up for work at 6:30. And you're like, oh crap. You knew tomorrow was gonna suck. And then
again, it's that balance you're talking about, Johnny. Even on that, your primetime job and your reselling job, and you're just trying to get the balance.
So when we were doing the hat shows at first, if we found a fitted hat, right, like an MLB fitted hat, we'd find them in the bins all the time. And this is also before, 4 years ago is a lot different than now. There weren't as many of like at the bins, the vintage kids and like just all the reselling. Goodwill didn't pull as much as they do now. And so we could go and say like, oh crap, we have a hat show tonight. And we could go to the bins and grab 30 hats and be like, whoo, that was close. And then we would go and we would sell used MLB fitted hats for 10, 12, 15 bucks a piece. And you're like, oh my God, this is amazing because we're paying 50 cents. And if I need more, I can just go back and get them. And then all of a sudden you were getting 5 for a hat and 2 for a hat. And then you're stressing to go to the bins to fight people now because there's more to try to get a couple hats to get $4. And you're like, I really think to be truly successful, you really have to have something that's just coming in just nonstop.
And it's also got to be something that there's enough people who are going to want it every day. You got to have enough.
Yeah, because
that's the thing. Even with the ephemera, even if I could get this kind of like the stuff I got yesterday, if I could get that every day, I could probably do okay running a show every day. But even then, there's just a finite amount of people buying ephemera, and even if it's cool stuff. So I don't know, but when it comes to things like hats and everything else, I think the whole distribution model's changed so much in the last 4 years with all the. I mean, it's just like the place here in town, that Bargain Brothers, that does all the Amazon mystery boxes and Amazon return pallets. And, that's all the stuff that used to go out to, say, liquidation.com or, other outlets where you could get stuff. And now that all that stuff for just an average person to go get it's a lot harder now. I think I've told the story. My brother, when he was full-time reselling, he was doing primarily all video games and DVDs and making high six figures, or high 100,000 six figures, not high six figures, like close to $1 million, but doing really well, a couple $100,000 in revenue easy a year. And then just like somebody shut the valve and all of a sudden he could not get that stuff anymore because you had all your Ollies opening and Bargain Hunt and all the bin stores and all these things that were sucking that stuff off. And because he was buying whole DVD pallets off liquidation.com.
Oh, wow.
And those just completely went away. You couldn't even get them anymore because I guess the bin stores and your other places were jumping in and getting them. So, it crushed his business model. He was very, he'll tell you he didn't diversify enough, but he had a good run for like 3 years. So bought a warehouse and everything. So.
Well, Johnny, one of the last things we need to say here before we wrap this episode 76 up is congratulations to you, Stewart, on Employee of the Month again.
Yes, absolutely.
37 weeks in a row, I think now.
Wow, congratulations.
Or 37 months in a row, rather. 3+ years.
3+ years, wow.
I mean,
Amy thought she won 1 month, but we had a recount and it was not right. So.
Oh, she did not win? Okay.
No.
Hanging Chad.
Well, gentlemen, that is a wrap on this episode 76 of the Finders Flippers Resell Podcast. Another great show.
Always.
It was. Appreciate everybody who subscribed the last week. We're getting ever closer to our next live. Looking forward to that. And we'll be back next week with, episode 77. So,
and hopefully another story by Johnny and Chad.
Little adventures of
so
the raccoon.
Tune in for that.
And his gimpy owl Wes.
Oh, Crutch Boy.
I just envisioned like Tiny Tim, like a Christmas Carol.
Oh, Father. But before we go, we want to say again, smash that like button down there for us and subscribe. And go to Johnny's channel, Frizzy'S Finds, over there with Lizzy. Smash theirs. They're heading toward 11,000. And your new one, Johnny, say that again, your new podcast.
Yeah, the Packing Orders Podcast.
Packing Orders Podcast.
Mondays at 7 a.m.
Check that one out. Smash and subscribe over there. And Stewart, we're going to get your count up as well. Yours is
just Franklin Hill Ventures. Franklin Hill Ventures.
And mine is the Slim Flippers. We're all on YouTube. So find us out there and help us out. I want to rise above 200, and we want to get the show above 400, and get Stewart above 500, and get Johnny above 11,000. So lots of numbers.
The faster y'all subscribe, the closer we get to those 17-cent checks. So.
Yes. Well, gentlemen, have a great week of reselling, and we will talk soon.
Bye, guys.
And again, I want to say to everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on the Finders Flippers Resell Podcast. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. We're wanting to get to 400 so we can do a live again. And we want to get to 500 subscribers so we can bring Johnny across the mountain over here to visit Knoxville.com. We hope you have a great evening, and thank you all so much.